And moving to some other news, Kazakhstan is poised to lead the growth of Islamic finance in Central Asia, according to the new report from the annual meeting of the Islamic Development Bank held this year in Algiers. During one of the largest financial forums in the world, a joint report was presented by the Eurasian Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank Institute and the London Stock Exchange Group. According to projections, Islamic finance assets in the region could surpass $5.6 billion by 2033. And Kazakhstan, according to ISDB leadership, is well positioned to become the main driver of this growth. What decisions were made in Algiers and what role is Kazakhstan expected to play in shaping the region's new financial architecture? Watch our report from the Algerian capital.
Across the Algerian capital today, the flags of 57 nations are hanging along. Among them, the blue flag of Kazakhstan. Algeria is hosting one of the most significant gatherings in the financial world, the annual meetings of Islamic Development Bank. The forum brings together global financial leaders, policymakers and investors to explore new strategies for sustainable development through Islamic finance. The meeting is held under the theme Diversifying economies and enriching lives. In this context, the Islamic Development Bank has announced a new long-term strategy through 2035. It aims to strengthen member state economies and unlock their full investment potential. The bank's vice president stressed the critical importance of such a strategy in the face of global trade wars and geopolitical tensions.
Economic diversification is the basis for any economic uprising. Any reliance on one project, on one sector, will doom the economic development in any country less than optimal. And in the work of IDB, we have developed a new strategic framework for the next 10 years that will enable our economies to cater for different capacity building in these member countries. We need to move from the one-sector economies because in this day and age, with all the changes that are happening in the global economy, we need to build the capacity internally in our member countries to deal with different challenges.
During this year's meeting, the Islamic Development Bank approved over $1.32 billion in funding for strategic projects aimed at promoting exclusive growth, climate resilience and economic opportunity across member countries. According to a new report presented at the forum, Islamic finance in Central Asia could reach $5.6 billion by 2033. Taking into account demographics, economic growth and the size of banking sector in each of the 5 Central Asian countries, the ISDB reports Kazakhstan is likely to lead this expansion, followed by Uzbekistan. The bank's vice president noted that Kazakhstan is not only growing its economy, it is also becoming a model for the region.
Kazakhstan is a very important country for us. We do have a regional hub in Almaty, and we are very proud of the cooperation with Kazakhstan. Just a few months back, IDB has approved $1.1 billion for the water sector in Kazakhstan, and we're looking forward to diversifying. Speaking of diversity, diversifying our intervention with the Kazakhstan government. Kazakhstan also could play a very good role as an example for the countries in the region, and we're looking forward for an enhanced and enriched interaction between Kazakhstan and the rest of the member countries.
At the Islamic Development Bank meetings in Algiers, chairman of the Eurasian Development Bank, Nikolai Podguzov, announced that the EDB is now ready to issue its first Islamic bonds. It's a financing tool based on interest-free and ethical principles that is gaining strong demand across the region. According to Podguzov, demand for such instruments in Central Asia could reach $10 billion over the next 5 to 10 years. Kazakhstan is already actively involved in this process. Major joint projects between the EDB and the Islamic Development Bank include the new terminal at Almaty International Airport and the Bakat Ring Road around the city.
We are working on mutual projects together with Islamic Development Bank, and hopefully we will be able to print our debut Sukuk bond as soon as this year. For us, it's very important to develop Islamic finance across Central Asia, the region of our domestic activity. We see that within the next 5–10 years, the potential demand for Islamic finance could be as high as $10 billion. Last year in June, together with President Kassym-Jomart Kemyrovich Tokayev, we opened new terminal of Almaty Airport. Also Bakat, the ring road around Almaty, has been made together with Islamic Development Bank and EDB. So we have a number of projects in the pipeline to work together.
In total, the Islamic Development Bank has financed 462 projects across Central Asia with a combined value of over $8.39 billion. Kazakhstan currently ranks second in the region in terms of total funding received, following Uzbekistan. To date, 74 projects have been implemented in Kazakhstan in key sectors such as energy, logistics and water resources, with total support amounting to $1.6 billion. And here's another strong example of Kazakhstan's growing role in Islamic finance. Through the Islamic Organization for Food Security, an institution founded at Kazakhstan's initiative, the country is stepping up its contribution to global food security. On the sidelines of the Islamic Development Bank meetings in Algiers, IOFC signed a new partnership with UN Women. The aim is to empower rural women across West and Central Africa by supporting sustainable development in agriculture and food systems.
Our pilot project will be implemented in Sierra Leone and Nigeria to develop cassava value chain through survey and organizing workshops and collecting data and analyzing and reporting. So it's our first project with UN Women, and we hope to go to other countries in future to support women's and enhance their role in agriculture.
According to Islamic Development Bank President Dr. Al-Jasser, interest-free Islamic finance remains a relatively new but rapidly growing segment, playing an important role in sustainable development of Central Asian countries. The outcomes of this year's meeting in Algiers are expected to materialize soon through new joint projects. The next annual meetings of the Islamic Development Bank will take place in 2026, with the city of Baku, Azerbaijan's capital, set to host the global financial institution and thousands of its delegates. Dauren Sagulov, Nurdaulet Karabayev, reporting from Algeria, New Time.